This tutorial is going to show you how to use the new Urban Decay Naked Eyeshadow palette using browns, golds, and black. First, we're going to start with the color Buck. It's a medium brown tone. I'm going to use it first to shadow in my brows. Now, I have pretty full brows, but I like to use this color just to give it some extra shape and to fill in some sparse areas. I use an angled brush, which I got in a brush palette or brush pack from Sephora. So I like to fill in around the top, down the sides, and then slightly a little bit on the inside. And I do the same thing on the other side. The best way to do this is by using little strokes. That gives you the most control and the most natural wispy brush strokes, just like your natural hair. Now the next color I'm going to be using is the lightest in the palette, and it's called Virgin. If you don't have the palette at home, you can use a soft shimmery white to create this look. Taking the fluffy end of an eyeshadow brush, start from the inside corner of your eye. Make sure that you get just outside the tear duct and swoop all of the way up to your brow bone and then out towards your temples. The next color we're going to be using is Naked, which is a slightly lighter brown than what you use for your eyebrows. And we're going to use this on the same fluffy brush right on the brow bone. This is going to create the contour for our eyeshadow. So go right along your brow bone, follow the natural bone structure of your face, and just do a couple strokes back and forth on either side to create some shadow. I use little circles and long strokes. Now the next color I'm going to be using is called Half Baked. It's a very gold shimmery color, and I apply this a little differently. Using the same brush, you're going to simply pat it into the eyeshadow on your lid. This is going to make the color a little more vibrant, and especially since it's a gold, you want it to be a very shimmery gold. And just simply pat it into the eyelid. And the next color we're going to be using is a color called Smog. It's a chocolate brown shimmer shadow. We're going to use this on the inner corner, so use a slightly shorter brush, a little more structured, and go from the inner corner, blend upwards to the middle of the crease, and out to the middle of the lash line, so you create a V shape. And do the same thing on the other side. So pull it out from the corner inwards halfway and upwards into the crease halfway. Now you're going to do the same thing on the bottom. You're going to start from the outside and work your way in about halfway with the same colored Smog and use it and do it both on either side. Now what you're going to use is you're going to take a color called Dark Horse. It's an even darker brown, not quite black. And this is when you're going to take it literally right above your pupil in your crease, and you're going to isolate it to that one little spot. This is going to create even more dimension in your eyes. So start with the smaller end of the brush and then flip to the fluffy side to blend. So again, find the space right above your pupil, right at the top of the crease, and dab the dark color in there. And use the fluffy side of your brush to blend. Now the last color we're going to be using is the dark color. It's called Creep. And this is a really, really nice shimmery black. And you're going to start on the outside of the top of the lash line, and you're going to work your way along the lash line. It's going to be a little thick because we want this to be a little more dramatic, but condense the color from the outside corner and work your way in. And do the same thing on the underside. So you have this really nice layer of brown underneath and then a black liner. Do the same thing on the other side. You can create a little more of a dramatic look by taking brown or black eyeliner that we're going to use in a few minutes and put it on the tear line in addition to the Smoke black eyeshadow. So you want to take the color all along the lash line. Now the great thing about this palette is that it comes with a dual-ended liner. So use the black end of the liner and go even closer to the lash line like you did with the black shadow, and condense the color and make it thicker on the outside and thinner towards the inside of the eye, right along the lash line. And do the same thing on the other side and underneath, right along the lash line. It helps a little bit if you want to lift up your eye to make sure that there's no creases when you put on your liner. Now the last thing we're going to use is a L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara. This is one of my favorite mascaras. Kim Kardashian also uses this because it gives the lashes a really, really full look. And you can just tell by the brush that it really coats each of the lashes. When I put my mascara on, I like to start at the very base of the lash and kind of swivel it as I come up. And this makes sure that every single lash is coated. And I work in little segments, so all the mascara is put on all of the lashes. And you want to angle your brush to a point to get the bottom row. Now the last step to this look is using a Stila convertible color. It's just a slightly like creamy rose color. Any look will do. You can also use a peach gloss, but I really like this this convertible color because you can use it as blush or lip or eyeshadow. And this will complete the look. You can even use lip liner, but I like to keep it simple. And this concludes the Urban Decay Naked Eyeshadow Palette tutorial.